Two used express cruisers sit on the same dock, same year, same price, somewhere around 60 grand. One of them is a smart buy. The other is a slow leak in your bank account, and the broker standing between them already knows which is which. I have spent enough years crawling through bilges and engine rooms to know the sticker in the window is the cheapest lie a boat ever tells you. An express cruiser looks the same from 10 feet away, whether it was built to last or built to sell. Nobody on that lot makes a commission steering you toward the boat that actually holds its value. So I will. 6 used express cruisers, real models, real numbers, genuinely worth buying in 2026. No brochure talk, no filler. And at the end, a checklist to run before you sign anything, because these prices move by the week. Right now, Boat Trader has more than 4,300 used express cruisers listed across the country, priced anywhere from $11,500 up to nearly $3 million. That is not a niche market. That is real selection, if you know what you are actually looking at. Most boats in this class run 25 to 50 feet, with an average motor pushing around 728 horsepower. Remember that number, because it is the line between a boat that is properly powered and one where you are paying for speed you will never use on a Saturday afternoon. Buy under that curve without knowing why, and you have bought someone else's mistake at a discount. So here are 6 that clear the bar. Real boats, real specs, starting at the bottom of the list and working up to the one I would put my own money on. Number 6, the Saber 38. This is the boat on the list that doesn't look like it belongs here. Traditional lines, classic profile. The kind of silhouette that makes you think of varnish and bright work in boats from another era. Don't let that fool you. Underneath, the hull carries 24 degrees of deed-rise amidships, tapering back to 17 degrees aft, a shape built for a real ride in a chop, not just a marina photo. And the construction is anything but old-fashioned. Saber builds these with resin infusion, biaxial stringers bonded straight to a foam core. That's modern boat building, full stop. It rivals what you'll find under performance-focused hulls like the Four Winds H440, boats that look nothing alike but were engineered with the same seriousness. So what you're getting with the Saber 38 is a boat that wears a classic face and runs a modern spine. It won't turn heads at the fuel dock the way a sleeker hull might. But it was never built to impress from the parking lot. It was built to be sound underneath, where it actually counts and where most buyers never think to look. That's why it earns the 6th spot, and why it's the boat I'd point a traditionalist toward before anything flashier on this list. Number 5, the Carver C37. This is where the list steps up into serious cabin space, and it does it without asking for serious money. Under the deck, you've got twin 320 horsepower Mercruiser stern drives, which is a lot of displacement for a 37-footer. Most boats this size are running smaller, and the Carver just doesn't. That extra power translates into a 24 to 25 knot cruise, with a top end pushing into the low 30s when you want it. And here's the part that actually matters to your wallet. Used C37 listings start in the high $300,000 range. For a boat with this much cabin, this much power, and this much presence at the dock, that's an accessible number. It's not the cheapest boat on this list, but it might be the best dollar for cabin space value in the whole lineup. Now step up from the Carver's straightforward layout into something built for a different kind of owner entirely. Number 4, the Cruisers Yachts Cantius 41. This one isn't about raw power, it's about how the space is used. Instead of an open cockpit exposed to the weather, the Cantius gives you an enclosed bridge deck saloon, a real living space with a roof over it, not just a covered seat behind a windshield. Down below there's a full galley on the lower level, and 2 private staterooms, each with its own head. That's not a common layout at this size. Most boats in this class make you choose between entertaining space and sleeping privacy. The Cantius doesn't make you choose. What you're really buying with the Cantius 41 is a boat that lives less like a day cruiser and more like a small yacht, without the yacht-sized price tag that usually comes with that kind of layout. Between these two, you've got 2 completely different philosophies. The Carver gives you power and value. The Cantius gives you space and privacy. Both hold their end of the bargain, and both are the kind of boat that gets undervalued on the used market simply because they don't shout. Number 3, the Cobalt A40. This is the quiet one on the list. No flashy branding, no oversized dash full of screens, just a boat built by people who put their money into the cabin instead of the marketing budget. Industry reviews keep coming back to the same point. that the finish and layout down below are genuinely refined, the kind of quality you notice with your hands before you notice it with your eyes. And here's where the value case gets interesting. New, the Cobalt A40 competes directly against the Cantius 41 we just covered, both sitting in that $600,000 to $750,000 bracket. That means a clean used A40 is riding the same depreciation curve as a boat we already called a smart buy. Somebody already ate that loss for you. This is the boat for an owner who wants real construction quality without needing the loudest name on the transom to feel good about the purchase. Before we get into the top two, there's a trend worth flagging because it touches every boat on this list and every boat you'll shop after this video. Outboard power is still rare on true express cruisers. Most of this class is still running stern drives or inboards the way it has for decades. But that's shifting. Four-stroke reliability has gotten good enough that more buyers are walking away from the traditional setups, and builders are noticing. That matters for you as a used buyer, because propulsion type isn't just about how the boat runs today. It's about what a repower costs 5 years from now, what parts availability looks like, and what a surveyor is going to flag when you go to sell. Whatever you buy off this list, don't just look at the price on the window. Look at what's turning the props, because that number follows you for as long as you own the boat. Keep that in mind heading into the last two picks, because both of them handle propulsion in a way that's worth paying attention to. Number 2, the Tiara Yachts 53 Coupe. This is where the list steps into real money and real engineering to match it. Brokered examples show low-hour IPS pod propulsion, a top speed around 34 knots, and 3 full staterooms on board, which is genuine overnight capability, not just a cabin with a mattress thrown in. One California listing from 2024 had this exact boat asking $1.349 million. That's not a typo, and it's not a boat pretending to be something it's not. That's the real market for a 53-footer built this well. Now let's talk about what's actually driving that boat, because the IPS system is the reason this pick earns its spot. Pod drives work differently than the straight shaft inboards most cruisers have run for decades. Instead of a fixed shaft pushing water in one direction, the pods rotate, which gives you dramatically better handling at low speed. Docking a 53-footer stops being a white-knuckle event and starts being something you can do solo in a crosswind without holding your breath. And it's not just about handling. IPS systems are meaningfully more fuel efficient than older inboard setups because the pods are pulling the boat through the water instead of pushing it, cutting drag in a way a straight shaft never could. So when you're paying up for a Tiara 53 Coupe, you're not just paying for 3 staterooms and a fast cruise speed. You're paying for a propulsion system that changes how the boat behaves every single time you use it, at the dock and out on open water. That's the difference between a boat that looks impressive and a boat that's actually engineered to be easier to own. At this price point, that difference is exactly what you're buying, and it's why this pick sits at number 2 instead of further down the list. Number 1. The Sea Ray Sundancer 370 Outboard. The pick I'd put my own money on before anything else on this list. Step into the cockpit and you'll find a wet bar, a proper dinette, and a 12-inch touchscreen dash running the whole boat. That's not a checklist of nice-to-haves. That's one of the most feature-dense cockpits you'll find on a used express cruiser under 40 feet full stop. But features fade. What doesn't fade is resale, and that's where the Sundancer really earns the top spot. Sea Ray sits alongside Regal and Formula as one of the most established names in this entire segment, and it shows in the brokerage data. Used Sea Ray inventory turns over reliably, listing after listing, year after year. When you buy this name, you're not just buying a boat, you're buying a resale market that already trusts what you're holding, which matters the day you decide to sell. Now here's something every single boat on this list shares, something worth remembering no matter which one you end up buying. All 6 draw under 2 feet of draft with the drive raised. That's not a small detail. That's the difference between a cruiser that's stuck running deep channels and one that can actually get you somewhere interesting. A sandbar, a skinny anchorage, water most other cruisers this size can't touch without running aground. 6 very different boats. Different builders, different price points, different reasons to buy them. But every one of them gives you that same access. The kind of shallow water freedom that turns a boat from transportation into an actual weekend. That's the thread running through this entire list, and it's exactly why the Sundancer 370 earns the top spot, the same access as the rest, wrapped in the resale strength and cockpit that makes it the smartest buy of the 6. That's the list. 6 real used express cruisers, real specs, real numbers, actually worth buying in 2026. Not brochure talk, not a broker's favorite on the lot, but nothing here replaces doing your own homework. Before you sign anything, check the hours, check the propulsion, check the stateroom layout against what's actually listed right now on Yacht World and Boat Trader. These prices move week to week, and today's number won't be tomorrow's number. So do the math before you shake anyone's hand. The right boat, the one built to last instead of built to sell, will still be sitting on that dock when you're ready.